this up.
Oh yeah,
James Mangold doesn't want to be handcuffed to Star Wars lore with upcoming prequel.
Yeah, that's.
He teases his upcoming Star Wars prequel, Dawn of the Jedi.
Fuck
As
off.
James Mangold makes his mark on a galaxy far, far away with his upcoming Star Wars installment, he's emphasizing the long time ago part of the setting. The two-time Oscar nominee who's set to co-write and also direct Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi recently teased that his prequel will aim to find a way on the page to say something original about the origin of the Force without relying too much on the franchise's established lore. So he wants to change the lore, is basically what he's saying.
Yeah, so here's the. I also heard last night. I caught some of Star Wars Theory stream, and Dash Star was on there, and he said that he heard that it's not just that he wants to give an origin to the Jedi. He wants to give an origin to the Force, which is the worst fucking idea I have ever heard.
Why would you do that?
It is a terrible, terrible idea.
Okay.
The Force? You want to give an origin to the Force?
Yeah. Isn't it always kind of meant to be up to interpretation? Like it's just a thing, right? Like it just was always there, you know?
Yes. It has always been there. It is a terrible, terrible idea. And it's not only just that, so you're gonna get rid of Tython and like Ashla and Bogan and completely just get rid of like basically anything remotely important to the beginning of the Jedi. Like I don't understand it.
Well,
and okay, listen. You're like, like I want to do my own Star Wars story. Cool. Like, but you also did Logan, and Logan was basically Old Man Logan.
That movie's good though.
Yes,
that movie's good.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Yes, you left some stuff out of the Old Man Logan comics, but that's basically what it was. You basically did the Old Man Logan. So why can't you just take the fucking lore from Star Wars and do it?
Well,
because there's something else going on here. Like Disney's always saying, like, "Oh, we don't have, like we don't have anything to go on." Well,
you're trying to rewrite the EU, Roland.
That's exactly what they're trying to do, and everything about like the Thoyor and like I'm coming up with words you guys probably never even fucking heard. The Thoyor and like Ashla and Bogan and Tython and the original Jedi, like it's all really interesting shit. And the Rakatan Empire and the way that the Rakatans are using Force sensitives as batteries. Like they're using them as fucking batteries for their ships. Like, and that's why the Jedi were like part of why they were created was to fight back against the Rakatans eventually. Like it's all shit that was really fucking good.
So before I continue,
and you know what?
You say that
you know what the other thing is? Be happy that you have a Star Wars thing that you're working on.
That's true.
Like I don't give a shit because you know what, James Mangold? You directed the worst fucking Indiana Jones movie.
Which one was he in charge of?
The newest
one. The most
one.
recent one?
The most recent one where Phoebe Waller-Bridge just dragged around fucking Harrison Ford the whole time and treated him like a piece of shit.
Jesus.
And then it ends with him getting punched in the face after he tries to kill himself, and they don't let him even kill himself.
So, my thing is, because I think Damio's brought this point up, and I think Caleb has too a couple of times.
Don't touch
we are kind of in the same 90 to 100 year cycle when it comes to Star Wars. So I kind of get branching out, but why not go into the future? Not,
That's what I have said since the fucking beginning. Don't touch any of the Skywalker saga. Here's the other thing. If you want to have any reference to the Skywalker saga, you can make a movie that takes place during Empire Strikes Back and have it take place on the other side of the galaxy with completely brand new characters and a single reference to the Empire. And you can have a mind-blowingly good story without having to actually change anything.
Yeah, or if you want to get out of the time period of the Skywalkers, don't go backwards. Go like millions of years into the future. Like, don't, because
anytime you go backwards, you change everything.
Yeah, so did Mangold not learn from the Acolyte? Well, let's see. He says, to me, the really important aspects are the freedom to make something new.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
No, I have to stop you right there because fuck you. That doesn't happen when you have Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, you're going to get a Rings of Power. That's what you're going to get because the Star Wars fans know just as much about the lore from the start of the Jedi to everything forward and even before the Jedi. Like the back of our hands if you're a fucking EU nerd. Like, you're doing the same thing that Amazon did. They're like, well, we want to do the Silmarillion with our twist on it. Well, fuck you, because you're not even doing that at all. You're doing your own fucking thing with characters that shouldn't be there at the same time, with things that shouldn't be happening at all. And guess what? You failed. You failed because you didn't follow the source material. There is source material out there. When you're doing a prequel, you don't get to do whatever the fuck you want because the prequel already exists.
Yeah, something new.
You're taking something that is like, people know this like they know religion. This is the strongest intellectual property on the planet. You can show somebody who doesn't speak your language a picture of a stormtrooper and they know it's fucking Star Wars. You can go to a third world country where they don't even have fucking televisions, and I bet you there is a kid wearing a hand-me-down fucking t-shirt with a stormtrooper on it. They don't know what it's from, but they know that it's a thing. Like, Star Wars is a thing that everybody fucking knows. And when you go back to this point, you go all the way back to the beginning, and you're going to fuck with the creation of the Jedi, or even have the gall, which I would say is worse than Leslie Headland wanting to put Plagueis in her thing. You have the gall to tell people that, oh, I want to, like, give a reason as to why the Force exists.
Wow, you're actually saying that? That's just crazy. Worse than what Leslie Headland did?
Dude, it will be. If they give an origin to the Force is a mystical, that's what makes the Force work. That's what makes it work, is that it just is. There is no creation or destruction. It just is. And like, you're taking that from so many people and you want to twist it, and you want to be the one, not the creator, who, by the way, people would have a problem if George was doing that.
Trav, what's up, man?
People would have a problem if George was doing that, but you want to do that. And you think you have the right to go back and tell this story that has already been told with your own words and change everything? Fuck you.
So he continues on. Screenwriter Beau Willimon and I, in relation to Star Wars, have been working on a script and we'll see what happens. He told
All right, hold on. Let's see what Beau Willimon has done.
Yeah, Beau Willimon. Yeah, let's see.
Movies, I already got him. So
okay.
He did the first, the IDs of March, House of Cards, Mary Queen of Scots, A Master Builder, Zoftex, spoiler alert, presented by Netflix, House of Cards Season 1 in a different language. and The
Okay.
Golden Age of Piracy, which is a documentary.
So nothing close to Star Wars.
So you've done House of Cards, which people liked until what's his name wasn't on it anymore. But what season of House of Cards did you do? 2013 to 2018. So I feel like that's most of it.
So he's done.
Serving as the showrunner so he was the first 4 seasons of House of Cards.
So
the
he
good
did.
ones. So he did the good seasons of House of Cards, but you've done nothing. You have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shows.
All right, Roland. This is where you are. This is where you are going to lose it. The Star Wars movie will be taking place 25,000 years before any known Star Wars movies take place, added Mangold. It's an area and a playground that I've always wanted to explore and that I was inspired by as a teenager. I'm not that interested in being handcuffed by so much lore at this point that it's almost
get out.
immovable.
Get the fuck out. Leave.
And you can't please anybody.
Yeah. So then don't take the job.
Yeah.
Because there's other people out there that will take the job and do it.
So he's saying
there's fans of Star Wars that will reread, even if we've read them. You give me the job to write that story, I will reread those books and make them to a T.
The
original Dawn of the. By the way, they're taking the name because the books were called the Dawn of the Jedi. So I will read the original Dawn of the Jedi books again because I've already read them probably twice or 3 times now. I will read them again. And I will tell that story to a T. So if you're not going to do that, then why the fuck do you have the job?
So he's basically just he literally just has a sandbox and he can do whatever he wants to.
So give him something in the future because Rey already destroyed the fucking Jedi.
That's what I'm saying.
They already destroyed the Jedi in the sequel trilogy, so just go ahead 25,000 years into the future.
Right. What? But the argument that Disney will say is that there is no lore now about the past, but that's also bullshit because
because the Star Wars fandom had to deal with one thing that no other fandom ever had to do. Yes, Jake, I would. But I used to drive 40 minutes for work.
Mangold had a promising career and it's crashing down around him. Yeah, true.
Exactly. Well, and it started with Indiana Jones. Like, Indiana Jones was a terrible fucking movie. If I didn't bring up Indiana Jones 5, would any of you have even thought about that movie?
No.
When talking about James Mangold.
I
don't think anybody in chat, if I had said the name James Mangold and talked about this and talked about Logan, would any of you ever have even thought about the Indiana Jones movie? No, because it was forgettable and terrible. Jake texted me. But what I'm saying is it's complete it's complete bullshit. All of it.
It sounds like he doesn't care about the lore at all.
He doesn't. He clearly doesn't. And the one thing that the Star Wars fandom has to deal with, that no other fandom has to deal with, is the fact that you literally have deleted our lore.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
The lore just got wiped out, which is crazy.
But it does exist. It exists for so many people, and it was so many people's childhoods.
Yeah.
And you have completely gotten rid of it.
First announced at 2023's Star Wars Celebration in London, the project is based on the 2012 comic book series about the origins of the Jedi Order. So they're acknowledging the lore, but they're not. A release date for the film has not yet been set. Willman, who previously earned an Emmy nomination for his writing on the Star Wars, he helped write Andor? Did he?
Yeah, he was a writer on Andor.
Oh, okay. Was announced as Mangold's
but
co-writer.
He wasn't the writer on Andor.
Oh. So, overall,
he wasn't even
Roland,
mentioned. If you look up his IMDb, he's not mentioned on Andor.
So, Roland, you hyped for Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi?
I'm not hyped for Star Wars anything except for Andor Season 2.
You know, I never thought that like we would get to a day where I would ever hear you actually saying that.
I never thought that. You know how much that pains me?
Yeah.
Like, my profile picture right now is still a Star Wars character, but with my face on it. Like, it's still I'm still wearing a Star Wars uniform in said picture. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I love this world to death. Like, Star Wars got me through so much fucking shit, dude. Through so much shit. Like, that and Lord of the Rings were, like, my escapes when I was younger.
Yep.
I'm growing up as an only child. I don't have nobody else to talk to. I'm just going to go upstairs and watch Star Wars. Or I'm going to go upstairs and watch Lord of the Rings. I'm going to disappear from whatever the fuck is bothering me for a couple hours and just watch this thing. And I'd always feel great. Like, I would get immersed into this world. And it fucking hurts. Like,
facts, man.
It's the same thing they did with Halo. Like,
I'll do it for a tip, Jake.
No, like all the franchise, like it goes to that quote from Red Letter Media. Like, how does it feel to watch all your favorite franchises go down in flames? And then the guy answers, he goes, "It feels great," and he laughs. And that's exactly how it is. It feels fucking great. Because you know what? I know what it should be.
And I mean, like, that shouldn't even happen to Halo.
You're not gonna change anything, because I'm still gonna raise my children on the original Lord of the Rings and the books and the original fucking Star Wars movies. And I'm still gonna raise my kids on the original Halo games. You're not gonna change anything. Like, you know what? I want to go back to the time when there was Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST, and Reach. And that's it. And Halo 3 ends on a cliffhanger, and you're like, what happened to Chief? We'll never know. He's alive somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm going to go back to, because I don't like anything that you're doing. And I'm not the only one. Like, there's so many people I see that comment on videos and TV shows, or
I feel the same way about DC
live streams
and about Marvel. Like, it's like
people comment, they're like, I'm not going to show my kids this shit.
Yeah.
Because this isn't it.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'll show my kid Iron Man 1, and he'll be like, is there any more? And I'll be like, no. And he'll be like, oh, well, I want to watch Spider-Man. And I'll be like, awesome. There's 3 of them.
Toby.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Yeah. Okay.
The third one's a little iffy, but there's 3 of them.
Well, I mean, you can show your kid the Andrew movies too. They're not bad.
Yeah, but Tobey Maguire is my Spider-Man.
True. Facts.
And like, when he asks about Batman, I'll be like, it ends with the Dark Knight.
Yes. Yeah. Even I'm content with that. Like,
and you ask about Superman, yeah, Christopher Reeves.
Henry Cavill was good, but
Henry Cavill was good, but every movie he did after that was bad.
Fuck off, Ronnie.
It wasn't Henry's fault. Henry Cavill is a nerd. He loves this shit. That's why he left The Witcher as soon as he got the opportunity, because he's a massive Witcher book fan. Not even a game fan, a book fan, because the games are drastically different from the books.
Yeah, like, didn't he say that they weren't writing his character right?
They were slowly writing Geralt out of the show.
Yeah.
The 4th Witcher game is about Ciri, who can't be a Witcher by lore.
Yeah. Yep.
Women can't women literally cannot be witchers because of the lore. Women cannot use the magic because the potions they have to drink to become a witcher will kill them.
Yeah.
It only works on men.
And so...
Sorry, people, if that's uninclusive to you, but that's how the world of The Witcher works. And it was written years ago by an old Swedish dude.
I kind of have always felt, as a fan of the prequels, like, I like the original trilogy, but, like, the prequels were, like, my Star Wars movies.
Well,
I've always felt like the sequels were not for me, which is something that should not be a thing. Fans should be made to feel like this is meant for everybody. But I never felt like the sequels were made for me. They
weren't. And the thing with the prequels versus the original trilogy is, this is how I've always thought of it. The prequels is more open-ended. The original trilogy is more locked down because you only have so many stories you can tell with 3 Jedi.
Yeah.
Whereas now Disney wants to tell stories in... Because when we watched Revenge of the Sith, the only Jedi that lived were Obi-Wan and Yoda.
Yep.
That's it. That's it. No other Jedi in the entire galaxy survived. Only Obi-Wan and Yoda. So the original trilogy is locked down to, you can't tell Force stories. You can only tell stories about bounty hunters. You can only tell stories about, like, all that stuff. And the EU did that wonderfully. There's so many good stories in the EU about said characters that you can tell, right? But in the prequels, you have all these different side stories you can tell with so many more Jedi, so it's so much more open-ended.
Yeah.
That's how I always looked at it. But regardless, when Order 66 happens, you go down to 3 characters. Three force-wielding characters, and that's it. And that's how it should have been. Because that's what made it impactful. There was 2 Jedi left in the galaxy.
Yeah, not Cal and Ahsoka and, you know...
Cal, Ahsoka, all the Jedi that fucking Vader hunted down in the Vader comics, like all the Inquisitors, all that, like, fuck all that shit.
Now,
Order 66 was impactful because you see them all die.
Yeah.
And if you were reading the comics at the time, there was comic books about Aayla Secura, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Saesee Tiin, Mace Windu, like, literally every single fucking Yariel Poof, like, every fucking Jedi had comics. Yaddle, they all had comics about them. Quinlan Vos did survive, but he didn't go on to do it. Like, he like nearly turned to the fucking dark side.
I personally never minded seeing Rom Coda survive, because
they made it make sense in Force Unleashed, because they're like, he never trusted the clones from day one because he had a vision on day one and said, no, I'm going to conscript my own soldiers.
Yep.
So
yeah, exactly.
That's why he was such an interesting character, and it's a travesty that he's not canon, because I love that aspect of him, that he was like, I don't trust genetically modified beings and genetically engineered beings. I'm not going to have them in my army. And they're like, well, you need an army, because the Jedi were going to war. So they're like, well, you need to have forces. And he goes, I'm charismatic enough that I can get all these different planets to send me forces. So that's what he did.
Rom Coda is such an interesting character.
He had his own militia. And that's what made him so fucking cool. And that's the only reason he survived Order 66, was because he had his own militia, which is why Starkiller was sent to kill him first. Yeah. Because Rom Coda also knew that Anakin was Vader because of all that shit.
Rom Coda
is a fucking G. And he's another EU character that gets fucked over. Same with Kalski Rada, who trained the commandos.
I'm saying though, bro, like now, the thing that made Order 66 such an impactful scene with all of these Jedi surviving it now, it doesn't feel the same whenever I watch it now.
It doesn't. It doesn't, because like Obi-Wan escaped barely instantly.
Yeah.
Yoda only escaped with the help of the Wookiees. And Yoda actually had a contingency plan. Yoda had that little pod that he could escape to. It was a one-person craft that was literally like, it's not gonna do hyperspace. It's not. It might have one hyperspace jump in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was like an emergency. But he had that planted there because he was getting visions all throughout Revenge of the Sith and Attack the Clones.
Yeah.
He was getting visions like, I need to have this just in case. Obi-Wan only escaped barely. Because he went back and stole Grievous's ship, and he knew that had hyperspace capabilities. But every other Jedi, that planet would have been locked the fuck down.
Besides Ram Koda, I was content with it just being Obi-Wan and Yoda that lived through Order 66. I was fine with that.
Who went off to, and well, Asherad Het would have made sense, right? Because Asherad Het left because he was a Tusken Jedi. He was the only Tusken Jedi. And Asherad Het left the Jedi Order. Well, whatever his father's name was. There was Asherad Het, and Asherad Het was the son, I think. But he left and just married the Tusken girl of his dreams and went to live with the Tuskens. Like, that was it. So yes, he survived.
Yeah.
And that was the only thing. That, like, so yeah, there was like 4. And then you find out in way down the line in New Jedi Order, there's like this old bird-looking woman who is a Jedi who survived.
Yeah, but like,
but
it's not like how there's like 10 now.
Because she just didn't, like, no one even knew she was around.
Yeah.
She's like she's like Yoda's age, like, and no one had seen her. You know what I mean? Like, it was like things like that. Like, that made sense. You know, when you have these random characters, like, but there was maybe 5.
Yeah, now there's like 10.
There's more than 10. There's more than 10.
Yeah, because like Ahsoka, Cal, Obi-Wan, Yoda.
Hold on. Reva,
yeah. I forgot about her.
All Jedi that survived Order 66. Jedi Purge survivors.
Oh, man.
Ahsoka Tano, Grogu, Barriss Offee, Cal Kestis, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Yoda, Kanan Jarrus, Quinlan Voss.
Kanan makes sense, though.
Taron Malicos, also from that game.
What is that, 8?
Dude, there is so many. There's a whole fucking alphabet of them.
All of the Inquisitors. Yeah, true.
All of the Inquisitors. Kakruk. Well, Kakruk was OG. Kakruk's not even canon anymore. Kakruk was an OG, and it made sense. Quinlan Voss. Vergeer. Eighth Koth. It just goes on.
That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah. Gunji, the fucking Wookiee. Because he was in Bad Batch. The little Wookiee Padawan. He survived somehow.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Baylan Skull. Baylan survived.
The Path in Obi-Wan. So that's several more. True.
Like, yeah, this is literally just, it's such bullshit.
So it takes away from the impact of the scene.
Yeah.
Everyone lived.
Yes. There's like a good 100 people that survived. And you know what? Like, I know what Theory's doing with his Vader episode 2, where there's going to be Jedi that are fighting Vader, and there's like a good group of them. Like, I think there's like 11 or 13 fucking Jedi that are going to fight Vader. They're all going to die.
Yeah.
Like, they're all going to die. And this takes place 4 or 6 months.
What happened in the Revenge of the Sith is what's canon to me. And then, the Force Unleashed.
But I kind of agree with like what Theory's doing. It's like 6 months afterwards. I could see Jedi being on the run for that long and then just getting annihilated.
Yeah.
Like, you're not surviving years.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Like, years and years and years. That's bullshit. 6 months? Sure. Sure. We've seen Jedi survive on enemy planets for longer than a couple months. 6 months, you might eventually find a way off. You might get out of there. And then you meet up with Vader, you die. Or Mace Windu finds you, you die. Like, you're all going to die. Like, the only one that everybody always said could have survived Order 66 was Mace Windu, because he sustained the exact same damage as Luke.
Well,
he lost got electrocuted, and got thrown out a window and fell from a really high height. Like,
the thing that I've always thought, the thing that I've always thought of too, Roland, is if all of these Jedi survived, wouldn't some of them have shown up?
During the fucking rebellion, yes.
Yeah. More than Kanan. Besides Kanan.
Yeah. Well, Ahsoka's there apparently the entire time and just never does anything.
Yeah, like where's she at during the original trip? During the original trip,
she's just fucking about somewhere, dude.
Yeah, but like, she's such a hero. Why don't you shut? It doesn't make any sense. See,
because Dave Filoni can't kill her because he's fucking. He's too busy banging his fucking Ahsoka doll in his room. He can't ever get rid of it.
No, see, look, because Dave thinks that he's a fucking genius because people like the Clone Wars.
No,
so
he went against George's wishes. George has always said that Ahsoka should have died in Order 66.
She should have, bro.
She should have. She 100% should have. Rex should have killed her ass.
Also, Dave making it that it was like inhibitor chips was so stupid.
Yeah, no. Because it's not. Like, that's what made it so impactful was that the clones were all like, oh my god, we're really doing this.
Yeah.
It was their loyalty. It wasn't an inhibitor chip. It was their pure loyalty.
Like, the movies will always be what's canon to me, but now I kind of can't. Like, that scene doesn't hit the same way because, like, I'm thinking, so they're all under mind control.
So yeah, right now, like, chips kicked on and they're just Nazis now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, so none of this is their fault. There's no reflection. Like, there's no doubt.
Dude,
they're just mindless drones.
That's the thing that made it so interesting was the doubt and the fact that so many clones were like PTSD because of it, and oh my god, I can't believe we did this. And now there's a clone rebellion, and all of us are being sent to Kamino to kill our brothers because our brothers on Kamino aren't doing it because there's no Jedi there, but they're gonna protect the Kamino. Like, it's oh my god, it was so good. And then Cal Skirata, the guy who trained the commandos, tries to get as many commandos out as he can and bring them to Mandalore. Because at the end of the day, they're Mandalorians.
Yeah.
By blood. And like, you have there's this crazy scene when Order 66 is going down and they're trying to get off Coruscant. And Dharma and Etain, who is like this clone fell in love with a Jedi Padawan, and like they ended up having a kid, right?
Yeah.
In secret, and they're trying to get off world of Coruscant during Order 66, and it's like blockaded, and they're trying to get across this bridge in their like they're at a checkpoint, like a military checkpoint, and one of the clones recognizes Etain, and she stays behind, and Dharma has to get his like little baby son like off the planet as his wife is standing there fighting back to get them off, and she dies. Like, it's fucking brutal.
Yeah, but like the thing that made that not so much like special, but like interesting was like the human aspect of like, you know, all of the clones thinking like, are we doing the right thing? Whereas like now we see that like they were forced to do it. It wasn't their fault. Like it kind of takes away from that scene for me, kind of sort of, because like I kind of always thought that Cody didn't want to shoot at Obi-Wan, but he had to. Whereas like now,
well, he looks
I'm like,
backwards, even under his helmet. Like when you watch this scene, like I'm gonna pull it up just to watch it real quick. Like, and it'll be quick and easy just to show this point that I want to show. By the way, Anakin walking into the temple is too fucking badass.
bro, that scene is Jesus. That scene is sick. I love that scene.
Like, yeah, that scene's. That's my ringtone actually. Whenever I don't have my phone on silent, my ringtone is the Order 66 march. But like this scene right here, like,
tell them to move to the higher levels.
Very good, sir. Oh, by the way, I think you'll be needing this.
Thank you, Cody. Now let's get a move on. We've got a battle to win here. Yes, sir.
By the way, y'all, Revenge of the Sith, 10 out of 10. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Jake, you should be good to call me at 4:45.
Yeah, we should probably be off stream then. Yeah.
But here,
Cody's pain and doubt conveyed without even seeing him.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Yes, my lord.
He's in
back
shock.
up. He backs up from his fucking hand.
Yeah. He doesn't want to do it.
And like his PTSD in the books is crazy. He actually ends up dying because the entire 501st is technically wiped out later on.
Yeah.
The whole Rex wasn't a character, so it was Commander Appo. Appo does get killed during the months after Order 66. And Cody, because Anakin knows what Cody can do, Cody ends up taking over and is part of Vader's fist later on.
Yeah.
As well as the commandos, as well as other things, right? So they are all stationed. They're old now, right? But they're all stationed on the Death Star.
Huh.
With Vader. So when the first Death Star blows up, the rest of the clones are killed.
Damn. Yeah, they say that at the end of the 501st journals.
Yeah, the 501st is all wiped out on the Death Star.
No, but
and Cody was also.
You guys see
on
this?
The Death Star.
Cody showed emotion without you seeing his face.
Yeah, just this little like.
Yes, my lord.
6.
Yes, my lord.
He's in shock. Like, he doesn't want to do it, which is like... Oh, the scream of the creature always makes me...
Boga got, dude, in the book, it's worse.
I know. It's like
In
body
the book,
parts come off and shit.
yeah, no, in the book, Boga gets hit directly and she explodes.
No, but like I'm saying though,
That's her name is Boga, but she is a Viractyl. And that is the entire reason that I own a gecko.
if we follow Dave's writing, that scene shouldn't even really be a thing. Because Cody's doubt, you see it in that scene. Whereas if they were under control of the inhibitor chip, there wouldn't be any doubt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I like it better. Is it admittedly cool in season 7 of Clone Wars when, Rex fights through the inhibitor chip? Sure. I guess that's kind of cool. But like, why not just have it be that look, Ahsoka should have just gotten capped, but Dave couldn't do that because he, put her into Rebels. So like,
dude, you know what would have been really interesting if Ahsoka got capped and Rex still woke up from it and escaped with Maul.
Yo, that would have been cool.
That would have been way more interesting of a dynamic because Maul was still there. So have Maul get the fuck out, and like Rex gets out on that ship.
Hey yo,
maybe not even like with maybe Rex is the one who lets Maul out, not Ahsoka.
The entirety of Naruto on Blu-ray is nice.
Hell yeah.
No, but
I need to get Bleach. I have the Bleach manga, but I need to get Bleach. Like,
I gotta say though, bro, it's I'm not the biggest fan of season 7 of Clone Wars, but Maul fucking up the 501st still is like really cool.
Oh, it's fantastic.
But like,
also the fact that Maul and Anakin are the only two that have like the ability to see so far into the future is I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
But it's just now
Maul,
like
so the characters, the villains of the first 3 movies are 3 aspects of Vader, right?
I never thought of it in that way.
That's exactly how George planned it. So like, if you go forward, it's Maul is the anger and the emotion. Dooku is the control and the I guess I don't really have the authority, I guess. And then Grievous is the cybernetics.
Oh, that's freaking genius.
And all 3 of those characters put together makes Vader.
Yo.
Because
I never thought of it in that way.
Maul's emotion and Maul's anger and all that, plus the authority and control of Dooku, plus the cybernetics and full machine. That Dooku is literally one of the most interesting characters in Star Wars, and so is Maul, and so is Grievous. They're so fucking interesting. You want to give me a really good Star Wars show? Give me the Fall of Grievous, because that shit is so wild. So wild. And you could you could do a House of the Dragon type show with Palpatine and Plagueis, and it would be insanely good.
My brother loves Grievous, bro. And like, I would love to see like an origin for him.
There is one. There's a ton of them. There's a book and a comic.
And
like, he was a full fucking alien. He did not want to be a cyborg.
I would take like a Tales of Dooku or like, a Tales of Maul. It's just that somehow Dave would put like Ahsoka in that shit.
No, 100% Ahsoka would be in it, but also like Grievous would end up being trans, and that's why he just became a robot. Yeah, well, Labyrinth of Evil. Yeah, Great Pilgrim, Labyrinth of Evil, great book.
Well, like you can see that he's like clearly burned, and like
he's a reptile.
Heart is like
he's a reptile.
His heart's like
that's why he coughs because his lungs are burnt. But
yeah,
reptilian. He is a Kalish.
Dooku found him, right?
No, Dooku. So the Jedi were gonna try and get the Kalish to join the Republic,
Right.
and because the Kalish are a warring culture, they're like Grievous was their leader. He was a warlord, the warlord
Right.
of the planet, and they had constantly fought this race that were insects. Well, that's another reason. You're actually right. Yeah. No, he cost because Mace did crush his chest. My bad. That's true. Yeah, in the original Clone Wars, Mace Windu crushes his chest.
Oh, that's right.
And he doesn't cough
That does happen.
He doesn't cough until after that. But he did burn. His vocal cords are destroyed. So what happens is Grievous denies the Jedi because the Jedi never came to help his people when this race would just come down, kind of like how the Trandoshans would, like Bosk's people would always attack the Wookiees, and the Wookiees would always fight the Trandoshans. Is a very similar thing, except like this insect race that looked like these fucking praying mantis ant type people would just demolish the Kalish, and that's why they became warlords. And like different tribes, but then Grievous took over all the tribes.
Right.
So the Jedi was trying to get them to join the Republic, and they were like, no, fuck that. Like Grievous basically said, fuck off, I'll kill you all. And he already had hatred for the Jedi because they never helped. And then Dooku shows up, and Grievous wants no part in their war. And then Grievous is on his way back to his family, like in his ship from one side of the planet to the other, and Dooku planted a bomb on it and blew it the fuck up.
What?
And Grievous Grievous was basically a head with a spinal cord, a couple veins, and a torso. And they used Geonosian technology, and it was actually he was the prototype of Vader's suit originally.
What?
Yeah. So he was like a full-on prototype of like a cyborg.
But and Dooku trained him, huh?
Well, Dooku told him that the Jedi were the ones that blew up his ship. So that's why he hunts down and kills Jedi, because he told him that he blew up his ship and killed his family, when in reality, Dooku blew up his ship and killed his family.
Well, but he also says, I have been trained in your, Jedi arts by...
Well, yeah, Dooku trains him, yeah, after that.
Yeah.
But, like, there's, like, pictures of Grievous in a Bacta-tank. Like, literally almost nothing.
Can we just get that in a show? That would go hard.
Like,
Grievous is awesome, bro. I don't know why he's not used more.
Yeah, this was him after he was blown up. Where's it at? Where's the real image? Ah, yeah, it was the banking clan that paid for it, not the Geonosians. That's who it was.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, so he said you've been funding a Geonosian bionic technology project, and you, great general, are the perfect candidate for our experiment. An experiment that will plunge you back into the heart of battle. And, like, that's what he looks like in there.
Honestly, bro, if I thought that the Jedi did that shit to me, I would hate them too.
But this is, like, this was him as an alien, like, when he was a Kalish. Like, he looked sick. That's why he still wears his warlord mask.
Bro, I would love like an origin show about Grievous, but like Disney wouldn't do it right. They would make it like
no, they'd fuck it up. Grievous would be like, I wanted to be trans, and like his whole thing would go wrong, and that's why he ends up fucking dying. blowing up. They'd be like, "Sorry, sir, we couldn't do the bottom surgery, so now you're a robot." And he'd be like, "Oh, I hate the Jedi."
In Disney Star Wars, he's a coward who laughs and twirls his mustache.
Yes. Yes. In Disney Star Wars, he is a coward who laughs and twirls his mustache and always escapes. In George Lucas's canon, he's a horrifying general that takes down 7 Jedi at a time at one point and just like literally massacres them on his own without any help from any droids.
And he doesn't have any force powers, right?
No. There's 0.
He just knows how to use lightsabers.
He's just a fucking menace, yeah. He's literally the Jedi Terminator.
Well, yeah, because like
he kills Shaggy. That's true.
Because
there's a Jedi named Shaggy. He kills him. Because the Jedi looks like Shaggy. It's in the original Clone Wars. The very end. Bro, he grabs fucking Aayla Secura by the face with his clawed foot and launches her into the ceiling.
Yes. I remember
He also kills Ki-Adi-Mundi's apprentice. He also kills Kakruk. He fucks up Shakti. He fucks up Aayla Secura. He fucks up Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Dude, I need an animated fight between Maul and Grievous. I need one.
Well, you would have gotten one if they actually did the Son of Dathomir comics.
I know, but I'm because like it would kind of be like the it would be the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, kind of sort of like Maul versus Grievous would that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would have been a really good one. I mean, it was a good one in the comics, but it would have been and Maul wins.
Maul wins? Oh, okay.
Maul wins.
Well, I mean, that's not shocking because Maul's got force powers,
Yeah, but Grievous kills motherfuckers with force powers all the time. It's because Maul's smart.
Yeah.
Maul is like he's that one dude you don't fuck with.
So
Maul is on a different level.
Maul is
he is that there's a reason that Palpatine looked for Maul in the first place and found him is because he wouldn't have needed Anakin. If Maul didn't get killed by Obi-Wan, he would not have needed Anakin.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, was it wrong for them to bring Maul back in the Clone Wars?
I mean, he comes back in some comics. Yes and no. It's a very hard decision for me to make. Like, because
we got some cool shit out of it, though.
Yeah, I love Maul, and he's a great character, and he got so much more character development. I think the more of the mistake was killing him when they did.
Yeah.
But I'll be back in a second.
Okay. But yeah, no, I mean it's just crazy cuz like I always kind of thought that I kind of thought that there was some stuff to explore with Maul, but like I don't know, killing him, like I can kind of make a defense for killing him in the Phantom Menace, but then the way that he dies in Rebels, like there at least in my eyes, there still were many more stories to tell with him, but I get it. He had to have that final fight against Obi-Wan. That was his like demon. That was what was driving him to live, was to kill Obi-Wan. I understand that, but at the same time, it to me, at the very least, there were more stories to tell with Maul, and no, but I'm saying though, Pilgrim, I think it would have been cool for him to be around in the, original trilogy, but then that kind of gets into the where was, he at bit. Anything else would have been creating new stories for him. Well, yeah, true. But I kind of just thought about what like you said, and if he had lived in like if he had lived past like the Rebels show, like he there would have been a question like, well, where was he at when this happened, or where was he at when that happened? But like you could easily write stuff past that point, or like, alongside of that, because like, look, bro, Ahsoka's alive in the Mando era. So like, why can't we have Maul be like alive? Like in the, original trilogy era. Like that's kind of how I view it, is like I, as a fan, like I never liked Maul dying in Rebels. I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying that she gets a pass. Like people people I get that, but what I'm saying is that Maul dying in Rebels at the time that he did, while there would be many questions that would be left unanswered, like, where was he at? I still think that there was more to do with him.
No, because here's the thing. I 100% get where Pilgrim's like going with this. My thing with Maul, though, however, is the original idea that was for the sequels.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ahsoka should have died in Rebels. Maul dying in Rebels and Disney Star Wars, fine. Absolutely fine. If we were not dealing with Disney Star Wars, though, and we were going to be getting these sequels that we all deserved, and it was the idea that George had where this entire time, yes, Maul was thought to be dead, but he was too terrified of Vader and Palpatine to actually do anything like that and come out of the shadows. So what he really did was just connect all of the syndicates together and create this massive fucking organization that was unseen. He was like the deep state for the syndicates. And in reality, like the Hutts and Black Sun and the Pikes and the pirate clans and all of them were actually answering to Maul at the end of the day. But only the heads of those knew that. Like, and then he's actually been training up his own apprentice this whole time, and then he waits another like 30 fucking years after the movies are over, right after Vader and Palpatine are dead, and then he rears his head now that he has a couple trained Sith under his belt, and he goes against the Jedi with an entire army of, honestly, something a little bit scarier than a military force. It's just an army of anybody from scoundrels to smugglers to pirates to the crime families that are respected by entire planets. Like, that to me is really fucking cool, because he's just been building this slowly and slowly and slowly for like 60 years to get to where he's at. That I like the idea of.
Yeah, and so like in that world, killing off Maul wouldn't have made sense. But
that's a different timeline that we don't live in, because we got female Ghostbusters in 2016.
Yeah, that's true. But the thing is that So like George did have a plan for Maul then after the Phantom Menace. Then it's just that.
No, that was a later decision.
Oh, okay.
No, he had no plan for him until like after Revenge of the Sith, if I believe correctly.
Right. Well, but so like the thing that like I kind of wanted to ask Roland because like we all I think respect George here. But it was George Lucas who decided to bring him back in Clone Wars. Yeah, I mean,
no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that was before Disney at all. Like he wanted to bring him back in Clone Wars because this was his idea for later on down the line.
Yeah, like so, like we all respect George, right? But is his way of storytelling, is it bad but it works, or is he like a like mad genius? Because like I think
I think
he's
it's a little
great.
bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both.
He's great at he's great at like building worlds and lore. But like his like storytelling, while it's good, like he's not very good at writing dialogue. But
I don't know. I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of fantastic. You can't say that after fucking Disney Star Wars dialogue. They fly now. Somehow Palpatine returned, and basically every single line of dialogue in the Acolyte, like no
I'm
one
mostly
can
talking about Attack of the Clones.
Everybody talks about that one scene in Attack of the Clones. The rest of it's fine. George can't write a love scene. That's it.
Fair enough.
He can't write a scene like that. Every other scene, fine. Go back and rewatch Attack of the Clones and tell me the dialogue isn't fantastic in some scenes.
I guess like the question that like I have is like cuz like I've seen people say that like George should have never sold because George like knew like what he was doing, and like I think George cared about his world, and Disney just doesn't have any like respect for it.
Well, the difference is he was promised that they would be caring about his world.
Yeah.
He put the people in charge because he trusted them, and they betrayed him.
I wonder if he like
he never trusted Bob Iger, but he trusted Kathleen Kennedy.
I wonder if he
her for 40 years.
I wonder if he like regrets.
He does. There's that clip of him when his Marsha Lucas, his wife, was doing a thing for a school where the school could ask her questions.
Yeah.
Right? And somebody asked him like how he feels. One of the kids asked him how he feels about Star Wars, and he goes, "They're doing their own thing. Like, this is not my Star Wars."
Damn.
Because he can't say anything. And there's definitely an NDA. There's 100% an NDA where he can't say shit.
Oh, he definitely wants to say stuff though.
For sure. Absolutely he does. But I don't think he cares. I think he's just like Harrison Ford. I don't care.
Well,
he doesn't care anymore.
Well, I mean, did it not bother Harrison Ford what happened to Han Solo? Like,
no, Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo dead since Empire.
Yeah.
But then he went, he always has said that Indiana Jones was his favorite character to play. And then he went back for the 5th Indiana Jones and played a bitch-made Indiana Jones. So I don't want to hear it, Harrison. I think Harrison's old. He gets high all day and he crashes planes. Like, that's what he does. So,
and whenever he's filming a movie, he always breaks his ankle on set.
Yeah, I mean, well, his newest movie is not going to do well at all. So